Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And you can call me the Mole.
Welcome to episode 383, WWF Smackdown. That's right. Going to Smackdown. Going to the People Show.
It's definitely, when I think Smackdown, I think The Rock.
Yeah. So this is the fifth episode of Smackdown, produced by the WWF.
How many, have we covered all of them?
No. We've covered the first, second, third, and fifth. So I think we're missing one so far.
Yeah, that's how
Loaded.
hard they're pushing this.
Yeah. It took place on September 14th, 1999, from the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, with an attendance of 8,219 people. But would air on September 16th with a TV rating of 4.5. Thunder the same night would get a 2.4, as the episode was a highlight edition around the developments over the world title. AKA, remember Bischoff got fired last week, so they didn't know what to do, so they did a highlight episode, a clip episode.
Wow. And that many people watched a clip episode.
I mean, WCW fans, we're going to WCW.
Yeah.
I probably would have seen it as a clip episode and went, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Is Nitro on... Oh, Smackdown's Thursday, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smackdown and Thunder on Thursday, Nitro and Raw on Monday.
Yeah.
So this is something that happened right around the same time as this Smackdown. TLC's Unpretty would hit number one the same week.
This song is so forgotten. It's crazy. I hate this song.
Really?
But mostly because the music video was really upsetting.
I guess I don't remember the music video.
It's like a lady going to get her breast implant removed. And it's just weird and sad. And they actually show the breast implant fall out. It's really upsetting. I hate it. Yeah, that's the video. Because I think the song is good, but I can't. The music video is just locked into my brain.
That's just some bad CGI going on there.
Yeah.
They're not filming in a location at all.
Yeah, because there's a story going through it, but it doesn't have anything to do with TLC. They're just basically sitting in screensavers, kind of dressed like TLC.
Yes, okay. I'm seeing what you're referring to.
Yeah, it's really upsetting.
It's literally a boyfriend basically being all you're not pretty, so get boobs, bro.
Yeah. And I saw this, I don't know. I was pretty young at the time, and I was just this is just unpleasant and I guess on the nose, but I feel like they went a little too hardcore because it's just a bummer of a music video.
Yeah, it's basically just about loving your,
yeah.
You need to love yourself and not...
The message is totally fine, but they really go hard with the visuals and stuff, with the storytelling. I think... Is it, two women, maybe? Three? I don't know.
I think it's just two. Yeah,
there's a chubby girl.
Chubby girl that wants to lose weight, and she doesn't...
She obviously has the eating disorder.
And then a woman whose boyfriend basically wants her to get boobs. And
yep, and they're just really upsetting stories.
Yeah, that is very upsetting.
So, I don't think it's a bad song. I think it's a good song.
It's a very catchy song I actually had to think about it for a second. I was like, what is this song? And then, as soon as it started, I was like, oh yeah, that song.
But I think that music video is, I can't think of the song without the music video. You still hear TLC songs, but I don't ever hear that one pop up.
No, it's usually Waterfalls or Scrubs.
If I had to pick, I'd want Creep, but Waterfall and Scrubs.
I don't think I've heard Creep in forever.
That's the one that gets played the third most, I feel like. But everyone loves Waterfalls. I hate Scrubs.
So it was
just mostly probably because it's overplayed.
This song was written by T-Boz, she had written a poem to express her disgust over an episode of Ricky Lake.
Oh.
And that's what...
That's cool. Like I said, I think the message of the song is good. The music video just went too hard in the paint, and it made me very uncomfortable as a child.
It was the men on the show were calling women fat pigs.
I mean, yeah, that's the Ricky Lake show.
Yep. Interesting.
I assume it was the second single off of Fan Mail.
It was, yes, it's the second single off the album. Obviously, the first one was
No Scrubs.
No Scrubs.
A song that's inescapable today.
Yeah. But yeah.
If you haven't seen this music video, I urge you to go out there and watch it.
It was number one for 3 weeks. This was just the first week, so next couple weeks it'd be. It was nominated for Song of the Year and Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group at the Grammys for the next year.
Huh. I'm surprised that it was this. And I mean, I think it's a better song than Scrubs, but Scrubs is so catchy, I hate it.
I mean, this one since it has such a...
it's got a message
to it. I can totally see why.
Scrubs has a message too. They don't want any.
Well, the guy that's telling her that needs to get some boobs definitely was a scrub.
Yeah, a scrub for sure.
I was like, yeah, they performed this and No Scrubs at the Grammys. I was like, I felt like they probably would have performed this song. That makes a lot of sense,
especially if it's up for an award. All I remember is at the end of that music video, that lady gets her, like, I don't know why, maybe it was a complication, but gets her breast implant removed, and it shows like a slow-mo of it like falling. It's just disturbing.
Well, that's kind of interesting. So Record of the Year is the producer award.
Mm-hmm.
No Scrubs was up for Record of the Year, but I'm Pretty was up for Song of the Year, which is the Songwriter Award.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think one was a much bigger song. The other one, I think, is a better tune.
But it doesn't look like they won any of those awards because Santana cleaned up.
Yeah, but they didn't need the awards because their bank accounts cleaned up. So did Santana's, but...
Yeah. He's probably still riding high on that paycheck from that album.
I wonder how much of a smaller home he'd be living in if he didn't make that album Supernatural.
Yeah. But yeah, go listen to I'm Pretty. Go watch that music video.
Get bummed out. Understand what I'm talking about. It sounds like a weird thing to bring up, but it's truly a bummer.
Let's talk some WWF Smackdown. WWF Attitude packages play before we see the referees are on strike outside of the arena. Michael Cole says it's because of the unsafe work conditions that happened on Raw earlier in the week.
I assume they all got beat up. It was a ref bump city.
Feels that way. Well, I think we see
I think they talk about it later.
Highlight of it later. And Cole's wondering how it will affect SmackDown tonight. The opening video package is shown, followed by pyro going off in the arena, with Cole welcoming us to the show, joined by Jerry the King Lawler. Glass breaks, and out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin, taking the mic to tell Triple H that just because he got disqualified on Monday, he's not finished with him yet, warning him they can do this the easy or hard way, which brings Hunter to the top of the ramp. And Triple H says that Austin's not getting jack, as he blew his opportunity on Monday. But he will be defending his title tonight against a main event competitor of his choosing. But it won't be Stone Cold. And the Rattlesnake counters by telling him to grow some beady eyes in the back of his head, as Austin will be so far up his ass, following Hunter all night long.
And just in case you didn't know that Hunter was a heel, he comes out with Chyna, but also a slew of cops.
Our announcers then talk about the main event for the next pay-per-view, which will be a 6-pack challenge, as no number one contender was determined during a match on Raw. And we see highlights of that match with all of the officials being beaten down to keep them from making counts, i.e. the reason for the strike.
Yeah.
And they also discuss the other matches we'll see tonight before Shane McMahon makes his way to the ring. And he has a mic to direct some comments towards Joey Abs, saying they go back a long time. that he asked the Posse to stay out of his sister's business. Only now, he's telling them. Followed by calling out Joey for our first match. Shane McMahon versus Joey Abs with the Mean Street Posse of Rodney and Pete Gas and Terri Runnels.
They needed some eye candy.
I mean, they need something because no one else cares about the Mean Street Posse.
Yeah. When I was taking notes for this match, I was like, what's the other guy's name? I just had to drop in question marks until I heard it on commentary.
So McMahon dives over the ropes onto the Posse, tossing Joey into the ring, hitting a clothesline and a second rope elbow drop. But the rest of the Posse jump in as well to beat down Shane as Test and Steph watch on from the back. And Gerald Briscoe comes down to be the ref when McMahon cradles up his opponent for a 2 count before Abs nails a snap suplex for a near fall. And Joey gets taken down by a back elbow with Shane making a cover, only for Briscoe to be pulled to the floor and hammered away on by Pete Gas.
That's what they're fighting against.
And Gerald fights back momentarily. While in the ring, Rodney has joined Abs in the attack to McMahon, holding him for a clothesline. But Shane moves in time, causing Rodney to take the blow instead. McMahon with a low blow to Joey as Pat Patterson runs out to be the ref. As Shane again cradles up his opponent for the pin. And no, Patterson's dragged out of the ring by Rodney, where they fight. And McMahon delivers knee lifts and a spear to Abs inside the ring. Heads up top to hit a somersault splash. When Sean Stasiak would run out to make the count for the pin and the win. Post-match, Steph rushes out to hug her brother as Tess looks on from the top of the ramp, followed by kicking Joey for good measure.
Yep. Good for Steph.
We then see Cindy Margulis in the crowd, but so does Ivory on her monitor, departing her locker room as we go to break.
Yeah, she doesn't seem too happy. But is she ever happy?
No, not really. Did you know Cindy Margulis was one of the fembots in Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery?
I did not, but I believe it. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just so happened to watch that movie just the other day, and I was like,
Why does
she looks familiar. And I looked it up, and it was Cindy Margulis.
Yeah.
And then, like, the next day, I watched the show, and was like, oh, hey,
Cindy Margulis.
Cindy Margulis.
What a...
Margolis. That's how you say her name.
Yeah.
I'm saying it wrong.
It's okay.
I'm just pronouncing names incorrectly today.
That's fine. That's a name where I'm like, oh, I know she's a hot lady, but I can never pick what she's from. I assume television shows, or is she just famous for being a hot lady?
She's mostly just being famous for a hot lady.
Yeah, we could do that in 99.
So we come back to Ivory coming down to the ring and grabbing a mic to say, as champ, she gets to meet a lot of stars, introducing Margolis to the crowd and begging her to join her in the ring because she's such a fan.
Yeah, Margolis obviously just acting like she was just there to watch the show. Why would she want to be involved?
And Cindy makes her way to the ring as Ivory brags about her Margolis' accomplishments, such as Sunly Susan and Shasta McNasty.
You remember me bringing that up?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's very funny. I got a kick out of that when they plugged it on the show. It's like, ooh, it was I probably watched it because UPN was new on yeah, exactly. Although I think I watched like every UPN show at this point in time.
Cindy was even the most downloaded woman on the internet in 1999.
Yeah, I wonder what the lineage of that is. We're not doing that here.
Who knows? Who knows? Followed by asking Cindy to strike a pose.
And this is where it gets weird.
And Margolis declines and goes to leave. So Ivory grabs her and forces her to lay down and strike that pose.
Yeah, like just pushing her to the mat to like lay on her side with her like arm akimbo holding her head up, yeah.
Even calling Cindy a bitch.
Not very nice, Ivory.
All of a sudden, Jeff Jarrett runs out and applies the figure 4 to Margolis, while Ivory is loving every second of it. Double J then releases the hold and celebrates with the women's champ, only to then tackle her and lock the figure 4 on to Ivory. We go to the back, where Lillian Garcia tries to find out who Triple H is facing tonight. But his only answer is that it's not going to be Austin.
And just for context, Jeff Jarrett did that as a message to Chyna.
I mean, he's basically beating up all the women.
Yeah.
Because he's facing Chyna. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't make the most amount of sense, but it just seems kind of random for him. Without the context, just like, why did Jeff Jarrett come out and beat up women? There's a little bit of a reason. I don't know how warranted it is.
We go to our second match. Mark Henry versus Steve Blackman for the WWF European Championship. And the champ came out first. Foreshadowing. While we also get footage from Raw where D'Lo Brown and Val Venus had defeated Steve Blackman when Henry didn't show up for their match. And we see the reason why from GTV as he was preoccupied with some of Godfather's hoes.
Sounds right for, the man calling himself Sexual Chocolate. And I feel like this is the first time we got the Sexual Chocolate theme song.
It might have been.
Yeah. But yeah, he's got the new singlet. I may have had it before, in between the last time we saw him, but I feel like it's new here for us.
So Blackman starts it off with strikes when Sexual Chocolate reverses a whip, only to telegraph his move, leading to Steve kicking him out of the ring. And Blackman gives chase to hit a leaping clothesline off the apron, rolls Henry back in, but Sexual Chocolate's back up to attack Steve on the apron. When Venus would come out to nail a kendo stick to the nuts and head of Blackman. And Steve falls into the ring, with Henry making the cover for the pin and the win.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way Steve Blackman's going to beat Mark Henry. Foreshadowing my ass.
Post-match, D'Lo also runs out and takes down Sexual Chocolate with a sky high, followed by celebrating with the fans. We then cut to the back to see Cindy Margolis being placed into an ambulance. And Jeff Jarrett interrupts to yell that his attack was a message to Chyna.
Oh, I was a little early on.
So deliver that.
Because Cindy Margolis is friends with Chyna.
Sure.
Chyna can watch the show.
All women know each other, don't they?
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a TV in every dressing room with the show on.
When Test would arrive to get in Double J's face, calling him Pee-wee. So they begin to brawl as we go to commercial.
Yep. And it's like, well, this guy just beat up women. Test obviously isn't cool with that. So he attacks Jarrett. You would think that street fight would end. But no. It's like there's only two guys in a parking lot. It's going to get messy. Someone's not getting up, but...
And we come back to Jarrett telling Terri Taylor that he's going to beat Test so bad that Stephanie will not recognize him. The countdown then hits 0, and out comes Chris Jericho to join his new bodyguard, Curtis Hughes, as we are shown footage from Raw, where Chris faced Gotch Gracie inside a ring, when Ken Shamrock would interfere. But it was all a hoax, as Gracie was actually Hughes under the mask. And we haven't seen Curtis Hughes since Royal Rumble 97, episode 236, when he was Triple H's bodyguard before Chyna had come on board.
Yep. Happy to see Curtis get another paycheck.
And he's also slimmed down quite a bit.
Yeah.
He looks good.
Yeah, he looks quite a bit better.
And Jericho has the mic to say that he has tremendous news. Shamrock has finally admitted defeat. That Chris is the most dangerous man and much tougher than Ken. Even getting down on his hands and knees to make sure that they never, ever meet again. And Jericho continues that he hired Hughes to keep him from tearing Shamrock limb from limb.
Sure, Chris.
So Curtis would take his place tonight, before also mentioning that he scoured the earth for a referee for this match, finding the greatest international official of all time, forced to wear a mask to keep his adoring fans from attacking him, El Dopo.
Yep, it's a play on words. El Topo means the mole, and it'll all explain itself in the future.
So we go to our third match, Curtis Hughes with Chris Jericho versus Ken Shamrock with El Dopo as the special guest referee. And Ken attacks as soon as he's inside the ring, hammering and stomping away, while Jericho joins commentary, calling Cole the worst announcer he's ever seen.
But he tells Jerry Lawler he's one of the mildly entertaining things in this whole federation.
And Hughes dumps Shamrock to the outside, dropping him on the barricade and stomping on him. But he has his whip reversed, only for Curtis to stop himself, turn back to his opponent, but gets dropped by strikes. Ken then runs Hughes into the ring post and ring steps, when Shamrock would eye Chris, sending Jericho running around ringside, leading to Curtis surprising his opponent with a clothesline.
You know that spot. Everyone knows that spot.
And the two men double-team Ken momentarily before Hughes takes him inside for a body slam and an elbow drop for a 2 count. Shamrock sent to the ropes, with Curtis telegraphing his move. So Ken goes for a sunset flip to take down his opponent. Applies the ankle lock, only for Hughes to grab the ropes. But Shamrock doesn't immediately release the hold, so El Dopo calls for the bell and the disqualification. Post-match, Ken's not happy and he attacks the ref, ripping the mask off to reveal that it was the Fink the entire time.
Finkel. Yeah. This was mildly funny.
Yeah. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I have some sad news for you.
The last time we're going to see Curtis Hughes is my guess.
It's the last time we'll see Shamrock until 2002.
Wow. I don't like that at all.
He basically was tired of this and wanted to go back to MMA.
I mean, I can't blame him. It's like the hot and cold of it all. Fans
He was a big Bret Hart guy. Bret Hart helped him come in.
Makes sense.
So
he's kind of floating in the wind here.
Yeah.
I could see him being frustrated.
But he was supposed to actually have a match with Jericho on the pay-per-view, but the next week on Smackdown, he actually gets hurt. And so they just write him off at that point. And so we'll never see him again until TNA.
Well, that's a bummer because that could have been a fun match.
Yep.
And it's the perfect person for Jericho to piss off because Ken is always pissed off. So it's feud writes itself.
Yep. We go to the back where Lillian Garcia is with Mankind. And she asks him how he feels about the 5-man Royal Rumble rules match that's coming up next. With Foley asking her how she feels. It doesn't matter. I could have got you. But for real, you'd expect total mayhem. Only me and The Rock are going to work as a team, because we together are like a luxury automobile. Rocky is the fine-tuned motor, and Mankind as the rugged part that holds the luggage. Even going as far as saying he's the people's rear end.
He's just good.
Yeah. Garcia also brings up that Triple H could pick him for tonight's match, which Foley agrees would be cool. But it'd be even cooler if he picked The Rock, so he could stand at ringside and get some more material as we go to break.
Mankind makes The Rock's material palatable for me.
We come back to the WWF boot of the week, where we see all the refs being destroyed on Raw, followed by another look at the officials striking outside.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say it now. It's a
gimmick for 1 week.
Gimmick. Well, I think it actually stays through a little bit.
Oh, really?
I think there's only one real referee at the pay-per-view in a couple weeks. But it's fun seeing all these like old names as the referees, because like Tony Gurria refs one match, Sergeant Slaughter refs a match at some point. You know, so it was just kind of fun to see these. Not
a terrible gimmick. We got the little silly Fink moment.
Gave Sean Stasiak something to do.
Yeah, absolutely. The Stooges got to.
So everyone's not just beating meat in the back.
Yeah. Poor meat.
So we go to our fourth match, the 5-man Royal Rumble match. And our first entrant is The Rock.
Because of course it is.
Who takes the mic to do his shtick.
Of course he does.
Before the second entrant, Big Show, comes out. And we cut to the back to see Hunter talking to Chyna about his opponent as we go to commercial. Coming back to Rocky and the Show brawling in the ring when number 3, Mankind, hits the ring. And Big Show's trying to dump Rock out, so Foley makes the save, double teaming on the big man with knee lifts and a double clothesline. Number 4, Kane is next, going off on Rocky, while Show uses his boot to choke Mankind. But The Rock fights back, only to charge into a big boot. And Big Show and the Big Red Machine work over their respective opponents in corners when number 5, Undertaker, makes his way out.
A slightly new look.
Yeah, he's looking a bit more badass than Dead Man.
Mm-hmm.
But Taker doesn't get in the ring, instead joining commentary, as Foley whips Kane to a corner, only for him to bounce out with a clothesline that Mankind ducks. But The Rock's right there to nail a DDT to the Big Red Machine. And as Rocky gets back to his feet, Big Show runs him over with the clothesline, picks Foley up by the throat, only for Rock to retaliate with a low blow. Kane gets involved with strikes, but the Rock and Sock connection ping-pong punch in response, followed by Rocky whipping Mankind in for a clothesline that sends the Big Red Machine out of the ring. Rock then tosses Foley as well, only to turn around into a choke slam from Show. And Rocky's flung over the top, but he holds onto the ropes, making it back into the ring with strikes that take them towards the ropes. As Undertaker leaves the booth, waltzes in, and pushes both of his competitors over to the floor for the win.
Sometimes it's better to not play at all, right?
Post-match, Big Show is not happy with Taker, which brings Viscera and Midian down to get in between the two men, only for The Rock to jump back in with a chair, laying out the minions, but Show kicks the steel back into Rocky's face. Everyone then joins in attacking the People's Champ, followed by a Viscera splash.
I wouldn't want to take it.
Nope.
His belly goes out further than his arms. I don't know how you take that one.
Very carefully. We see the Hollies walking in the back with their scale as we go to break. Coming back to our 5th match. The Hollies of Hardcore and Crash Holly versus Chyna.
With a mystery partner? Or all alone?
So Hardcore takes the mic to explain that their opponent has had enough time to find a tag team partner. I'm assuming that he probably challenged her on Monday.
Yep.
So he can do what he should have done last week. And Chyna comes out alone with Hardcore asking where her partner is, with her seeming to respond that she doesn't need one. So Crash starts it off, but Chyna hits a forearm that sends him tagging out. So Hardcore climbs in, only to receive the same, before a back elbow that has the Hollies concerned. And Crash comes in to check on his cousin, which leaves them open for Chyna's most devastating move, the low blow. And she works over Crash momentarily, only for Hardcore to attack from behind, leaving Chyna overwhelmed by the Hollies.
I mean, 2 super heavyweights.
Mr. Ass then runs down, but the ref Dave Hebner makes him get into the corner. So I guess Chyna has a partner now.
You'd think that's maybe who it would be anyway, right? It's not going to be Triple H.
Unless it's Jarrett.
Just to screw her over. That
Yeah.
would have been funny.
Double back elbow by the Hollies, clothesline by Crash, vertical suplex by Hardcore that continues the punishment, only to taunt Gunn, allowing Chyna to get back to her feet to nail a DDT. She then ducks a clothesline from Hardcore when Mr. Ass would pull her into the corner to make a blind tag, jumping in the ring to tee off on the Hollies with clotheslines, right hands, back body drop, back elbow, tosses Crash to the floor and delivers a famouser to Hardcore for the pin and the win. Post-match, Chyna is not happy with Gunn.
She wanted to do it herself.
When Jeff Jarrett would run out to knock her out with a frying pan.
It's not very nice.
Debra and Miss Kitty would also come out with a bag that contains an apron, which Double J places over Chyna, putting the pan in one hand and a ladle in the other.
Kind of funny.
Before taking the mic to tell her to get her ass in the kitchen and start fixing his supper.
Can't say that I necessarily agree with the politics, but got a chuckle out of me, brother.
Yeah, don't agree with it, but it
philosophically, but it's funny. He's supposed to be a bad guy.
We go to the back, and Lillian Garcia is there with Big Bossman, asking if pepper on a pole is too far.
And here I'll say, too far? No. Too stupid? Yes. Because it's the remains of a dead dog in a bag. Why would anybody want that?
Who doesn't want a doggy bag?
But I think I'm gonna get you a soundboard. It's like, I don't get it. I guess Al Snow would, because he's crazy.
Yeah. Bossman disagrees, saying he has the last remains of that stupid dog in a doggy bag. So tonight, after beating down Al Snow, he's going to grab the bag and shove the contents down Snow's throat.
That makes a little bit more sense. It's just another way for Bossman to be evil to Al Snow, if that's what his plan is. But it smells of Rousseauian tactics to me.
So we go to our 6th match. Big Bossman versus Al Snow in a pepper on a pole match.
Pepper on a pole.
And Cole mentions that these two will face each other in a Kennel from Hell match at the pay-per-view.
Oh, and we'll be talking about that. Everybody knows about that.
Yes. So looking forward to that one.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that match. I've only just heard the tales of it. No pun intended.
So Al runs down and hammers away on Bossman. Looks to climb, but Big Bossman stops him with strikes, only for Snow to answer back with headbutts and a back body drop. Al begins to climb again, with Bossman grabbing at his boots, only for Snow to kick him away and fly off with a crossbody, which Big Bossman catches and drives him down to the mat. Bossman with a nightstick shot to the gut, and he starts the climb, when the British Bulldog and some trainers come out with Rottweilers.
Okay.
Big Bossman would grab the doggy bag and throws it out of the ring, sending Snow to retrieve it for the win, as Bossman also uses the distraction to escape from the ring and out through the crowd.
Wait, so who won?
Al Snow. He had possession of it on the mat. You had to get it off the pole and then
down back to the mat.
Then back to the mat.
So it's not quite like a ladder match where it's like, oh, you just have to get the belt.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, wait, what? How did Al win? Maybe I wasn't listening. Maybe that's because I shouldn't have been listening.
It's stupid. Don't think about it.
It's easily the dumbest thing on this entire show.
Yes.
And maybe the entire year in the WWF.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah, we'll see. But
we still have Kennel from Hell coming up.
We should keep. That's a good point. We should keep a dumbest thing list and then add it to our recaps, like a countdown.
Triple H and Chyna are again discussing his opponent in the back as Stone Cold creepily watches nearby as we go to commercial.
This was very funny. I laughed out loud.
When it scanned him,
yeah,
Stone Cold in the back.
It's like just a big truck, like a 18-wheeler that's just in the back because they're in the back of the arena, and the door is open and there's like kegs and stuff back there, and Stone Cold's just like a few feet back inside of it, watching them from afar,
just enough that you can see that he's standing there.
Yeah.
Like he can't hear what they're saying or anything.
No. He said he'd have his eyes on him. That Triple H should grow some beady little eyes in the back of his head. So, at least he's delivering on a promise.
Probably should have done it a few more times during the show.
It would have been hilarious. I bet Russo suggested that, and Stone Cold was like, I'll do it once if you're lucky. I'm fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm not here for jokes. But one was so funny that one, because it was Stone Cold. If it was like Mick Foley, it would be funny on purpose. If it was Kane, it wouldn't be funny. But it's Stone Cold, so it's hilarious.
Yeah. We come back to the WWF Smack of the night, which was Cindy Margolis being put in the figure 4.
Yeah, I mean, kind of crazy. Why did she agree to that? Who knows? More downloads?
Sure. That takes us to our 7th match. Jeff Jarrett with Debra and Miss Kitty versus Test for the WWF Intercontinental Championship.
So I guess maybe the refs on strike broke it up. When they brawled to outside to a concrete parking lot.
The champ came out first, Foreshadowing. And Test rushes to the ring, but Double J hammers away as he slides in, only to be taken down by a big boot after a reversed whip. Test with a side slam and a gut-wrench powerbomb for a 2 count, when the Posse would make their way out. So the former bodyguard goes to step over the ropes to get to them, but Jarrett shakes them to crotch him. And Double J takes control with a drop kick, back elbow, and a second rope clothesline, only to have his whip reversed, leading to a power slam by Test, making the cover, but the ref is distracted by Rodney on the apron. And the former bodyguard's tossed out of the ring while Stephanie McMahon has come out, pulling Rodney off the apron and arguing with him. And Test is being pummeled by Pete Gas around ringside, tossed into the steel steps, when Shane runs down to clobber Rodney. The Stooges and Stasiak also come out to work over the Posse, which causes the ref to call for the bell and a no contest. And everyone continues to brawl when Double J would hit a second rope single arm breaker to Test, which would bring Steph in to check on her fiancé. And Jarrett grabs her and looks to lock on the figure 4, only for Shane to rush in and spear Double J, sending him bailing to the back.
This existed, just keep it moving.
Oh, just so to have Stephanie in the ring, so we could try and put the figure 4 on. Another woman for him to beat up.
It all makes sense, but, it's not a whole lot there.
Triple H and Chyna are walking in the back as we go to break. Coming back to Hunter coming to the ring, as we also see Test and Steph leaving the building, with the former bodyguard still holding his arm. Triple H then takes the mic to announce his opponent, but he also got to name the referee, and that's going to be Shane McMahon. And we see Vince and Linda are in the locker room with their son, asking him if he's okay, which Shane says he is, and makes his way to the ring to be the official for the next match. And Hunter gives him a high five before talking through all of the possible opponents that he could face, such as Undertaker, Big Show, Kane, Mankind, The Rock, but it's not any of them. Triple H continues with talk about grapefruits and being a hero, finally calling out Vince McMahon, calling him chicken shit and telling him to get out there, even making fun of Linda, which incenses Vince, who begins a slow walk to the ring. And Hunter challenges him, only for McMahon to warn him to not make this personal. So Triple H tells him to go and hide behind his skirt, that he could keep it up all night for Linda, leading to Vince blindsiding the champ and taking us to our 8th match. Triple H with Chyna versus Vince McMahon for the WWF Championship, with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. And Hunter peels the boss off and stomps him down. Even Chyna gets a cheap shot in from the floor. And Vince finally fights back with a rake at the eyes and a low blow, but Triple H regains control, kicking his opponent to the floor and giving chase to choke him with a TV cable, placing him on the announce table, which allows Hunter to leap off the barricade with an elbow drop that breaks the table. Vince is rolled back in with Chyna handing Triple H a chair, only for Shane to step in front to prevent the attack, but he gets shoved down. Hunter then knocks Vince out with a chair shot to the head, but Shane retaliates with a spear, which brings Chyna in to clock the ref from behind. And they beat down Shane with stomps and a chair shot to the head when Linda and the Stooges would come down, only for Patterson and Briscoe to be annihilated.
It's kind of their MO.
Chyna would grab hold of Linda and force her to watch Triple H continue to beat down Vince in front of her. When the glass shatters and Austin comes out from the crowd to lay waste to Hunter, because his security's still up at the top of the ring.
Yeah, he still came out with cops again, and they're all up at the top.
Stone Cold nails a stunner to both Chyna and Triple H, rolling Vince on top of him and waking Shane up enough to make the count for the pin and the win. And new. Post-match, Hunter takes off after Austin through the crowd as the McMahons and the Stooges celebrate while Cole says his goodbyes and we fade to black.
Hell yeah. Perfect, most shocking, exciting way to bring Vince McMahon back into the fold. It's a whole lot of fun, and it's why this product is winning, because they've got the stories. They're still pepper on a poles, but they've got their top like 5 guys that they're treating correctly and using them at the right times and like cycling them back, but not too far. It was good that Vince went away for a while. It's great that he gets brought back into the main story this way.
So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of WWF Smackdown from September 16th, 1999?
As a kid, this was crazy. A crazy last match to see. It was such a huge thing because I didn't ever get the pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was younger and my parents weren't going to pay that like
$50.
Yeah, exactly. So when something big like this happens, it was a huge deal. You felt special because you didn't get to see all of the like huge moments. And it was crazy because like, well, Vince McMahon had matches with Austin, but like not anybody else. It's because they have this contentious relationship. And then for Austin to help him take the belt off of Hunter blew my damn mind. And the rest of the show, who cares? Like the way it ended was so awesome in 1999 that like could have been 7 pepper on a pole matches as long as this is how it ends. But I guess to be serious, storylines are getting moved forward, but that's it. This is like the most soap opera ass episode of this show because I don't know that there's more than 3 minutes of wrestling and 2.5 of them were at the end of the show.
I don't even consider that wrestling.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, literally, you almost have what I wrote down word for word there.
I try not to look at your notes.
I literally wrote a lot of fun for the storytelling aspects of the show, but there's no actual wrestling on this.
No, not really. But that's maybe
because like your first match is a fight between Shane McMahon and Joey Abs.
Yep.
It's a fight. Mark Henry and Steve Blackman that goes a minute and a half before someone comes out.
Yep.
Curtis Hughes and Shamrock, which actually probably had the most wrestling in it.
And that's the guy.
Then you have a Royal Rumble match with 5 guys that all they do is brawl.
Yeah, they push each other on, like try to push each over the ropes.
5th match had Chyna in it, so you know there's no wrestling there. And then Big Boss Man, Al Snow, climbing a pole.
Yep.
And Jarrett and Test, which I guess there probably was a little bit of wrestling in that one too. But once again, it became a way to further the storyline for Jarrett, Test, for both of their storylines, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, and then, you know, Vince McMahon's not putting on any wrestling clinics for us, so.
I mean, to defend myself from enjoying that not good pay-per-view, the WCW pay-per-view, I think maybe I was just excited to see some wrestling.
I mean,
because with WWF,
it happens.
They're fun, but even the pay-per-views is less of the style of wrestling that I enjoy.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show? First and foremost is Mankind's promo.
I mean,
with Lillian Garcia.
The best is Stone Cold causing Vince McMahon to win the belt.
Well, Stone Cold being creepy in
that's gonna live in my head for a while. Just it's so out of character. It's so funny, but it makes sense with the thing that he said earlier in the show. Some of the best.
Gonna give flowers to Curtis Hughes. He looks great.
Yeah,
like
I was trying to place him, and maybe it's because he's looks so much healthier. It's a hell of a flat top.
But everything else just kind of like, okay.
It all makes sense. I'm not mad at any of it.
No, I'm not. Like, there's nothing wrong with anything that they did. Everything's furthering storylines. There was nothing on this show that didn't move a plot along.
Also, you know what? They don't need any crazy, surprising, awesome things to happen if they're going to end the show like that, because anything that happens before that you're not going to remember.
Yeah.
Because you need to find out like what the fuck is going on Monday after, Vince McMahon just won the belt with the help of his nemesis.
Yep. How about most disappointing? I mean, we just said that the show's fun, even though there's no wrestling. We want wrestling.
That's what we prefer.
That's what we want to watch. We understand, and we still can enjoy this.
Yeah.
But we always want more wrestling.
For sure. We're just not going to get it on the Raws and it's definitely Smackdowns because it's shorter.
Yeah.
But the
whole Cindy Margolis stuff was like whatever.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think Ivory did a really great job at making everybody uncomfortable and treating her poorly, but I didn't understand why it was necessary. But that was kind of almost shocking. I was like, Jesus. The pepper on a pole thing is just funny, and we all know where it's leading, so we kind of just like, all right, we'll just let Russo have his fun.
Yeah. And best performer of the night. I mean, Test again?
I would say Test had the most to do on the show.
Yeah.
As far outside of like Triple H, who like cut 3 promos, but I'm never going to bat for Triple H's promos. Give it the Test for defending women.
Yeah, I like it. And most surprising, I mean, it's Vince winning the belt because
absolutely. It wasn't El Dopo. I had a strong feeling who that might just be.
I did too,
and I did not remember it. But it was like, this is the thing that makes the most sense.
I actually wrote in the notes originally when I wrote El Dopo, and then I wrote parentheses, definitely the Fink under a mask.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll leave it for whenever. And then when he got his mask ripped off, I was like, okay, well, I won't ruin the surprise.
No. It's like, it's not a surprise, but there's no reason. There's no reason to ruin it. If you
suspend your disbelief,
yeah,
then it is a surprise.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, was it gonna be Ralphus? That would have been the most surprise of the night.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on, because we're ready to rumble. This week we're covering Murder My Sweet, released February 22nd, 1945 by RKO Radio Pictures. Directed by Edward Dmytryk, a one-time Oscar nominee, and written by John Paxton, a one-time Oscar nominee, and Raymond Chandler, a two-time Oscar nominee. It would star Dick Powell, Claire Trevor, a 3-time Oscar nominee with 1 win, and Anne Shirley, a 1-time Oscar nominee. The plot of this is it was after being hired to find an ex-con's former girlfriend. Philip Marlowe is drawn into a deeply complex web of mystery and deceit.
Makes sense. I was wondering why. I was like, Raymond Chandler, isn't he an author? And it's like, oh yeah, you just said the key words, Philip Marlowe.
Yep.
Famous character's been played by almost everybody.
So some trivia for this one. The original title was Farewell, My Lovely. So audience thought it was another Dick Powell musical. So after the title change, box office receipts picked up considerably.
Oh wow, they changed it after a release.
Yeah. This is actually Anne Shirley's final film, and the film is also included in the 1001 movies you must see before you die. Some reviews and ratings of this one. IMDb has it at a 7.5 and Letterboxd at a 3.7. And then found this review from Bosley Crowther in the New York Times from 1945. It's a superior piece of tough melodrama. Powell has definitely stepped out of the song and dance, pretty boy league with this performance. Dimitrich's direction maintains the racy pace of the novel, and it's a pulse-quickening entertainment. And my review of it is, it's a fantastic film noir, but it does have plot issues with too many twists and turns to keep up. The dialogue, which much of it is lifted straight from the Raymond Chandler novel, is excellent and has some whimsy to it. Edward Dmytryk does a wonderful job of keeping the story moving with his shadowy and stark cinematography, even using camera tricks to portray the main character's sense of being at one point. And the wrestler of this film is Mike Mazurki. And this is our 25th time to see him.
I mean, he's got to be an all-timer.
Probably. He's playing Moose Malloy.
What a good name.
The character is a menacing but slightly cartoonish thug that's looking for his girl. At first, it feels like a side quest, but it becomes more the main story as his threatening presence helps push along the story.
Good for Mazurki. He's got something to do in this film, it sounds like.
So I gave this movie a 4.0 and a wrestler performance of 4.5.
Ooh, that's the highest I think anybody's got.
That definitely is. Like, key part of the story, great job, was loving his character.
How do you not love a character named Moose Malloy?
Exactly.
Who's obviously a big, probably dumb, tough guy.
But if this movie does sound interesting, and I hope it does, for the longest time, the only place I could find it was through the library system. But just recently, so if you watch this, or if you listen to this and think it's interesting, go out there, check HBO. I noticed that it was streaming on there at least recently.
Yeah,
Hopefully it's still there.
I'm kicking myself because a lot of these, especially this is a well-liked noir movie. It might not be like a top 10, but it's probably a top 25. Is probably chilling on Internet Archive, and I could have watched it there, but I didn't think to do that.
Next week, Anarchy Rules 1999.
EC Dub, they've recently shown up on cable television for the first time,
Yep.
and
Probably help the buy rate.
Yep, and this is a road show for them, pretty far away from home.
The music from this week's show is Everybody on the Ground by Jim Johnston. And Vince McMahon won our main event.
So play maybe the greatest theme song of all time.
No Chance in Hell by Jim Johnston. And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there, rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcasts at.
And I will urge you, leave a comment, a thumbs up, a sentence, maybe code word pepper if you listen to this on YouTube, because you're getting a lot of listens on YouTube and I don't know where it came from. I'm just curious if it's like some kind of weird bot thing. Who knows? Just type pepper and hit
enter.
Yeah, we'll take it. Why not? I'm not making any money here. It's just interesting to see the numbers, and they've grown on YouTube.
But you can also send any questions, comments, concerns to our email at wrestlinghistoryx@gmail.com, or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTOX.
We'll be right in between the pornography and the violence on X. That's all it is, right?
I mean, that's all there is on there. We'll talk to you next week.